Right everybody, I wanted to do a review on this. This is my Enlan EN-01 lock knife, as far as I'm aware it's called, or EL-01 lock knife. And this is like, I wanted a lock knife for a while that was quite decent. I used to have a Gerber one that was quite small. Now, if you're watching from outside the UK and you don't know, we've got some really stupid knife laws. And basically the knife laws say if you're carrying a knife on you, it has to be a blade that's under 3 inches and doesn't lock, like a Swiss Army knife. If the blade locks, you're not allowed to carry it on you unless you have a justifiable reason for using it. Of course, if you're on private property, that doesn't matter as long as you have permission to have the knife, so I bought this for use around my house. But the silly thing with the UK knife laws is, if I had a really short knife with a locking blade, I can't carry it, even though, you know, it wouldn't be any good for stabbing somebody if it was a really short blade. But I wanted just a general all-round decent knife for basically carrying in my pocket, because I've got a lot of good knives that are sort of, you know, fixed tangs, fixed blade sort of ones, but, you know, they're not that practical ways for carrying around with you, so I wanted something like this, so when I'm in my house, I've got a nice blade that I can keep in my pocket and use for utility reasons. So, I'll go over the specs quickly. I've got the page up from Blades and Bows where I bought it, and I'll just read out all the specifications. So, the blade material, obviously it's folding lock knife, as you can see, it's got the sort of little flipper on it. The blade material is 8CR13MOV, so that means nothing to me, but you can actually see that it says that on the blade there. I did look this up and it's apparently quite similar to 440 stainless, some pros, some cons of it, but generally a good steel for a knife. Rosewood hand material for the handguard sort of grip, yeah, as you see that's very nice. The overall length is 21.2 centimeters. The closed length is 11.8 centimeters. Let me just close that. Try and do it one-handed, it's a bit awkward, but there you go, you can do it. The blade length is 10 centimeters. That was a really crap attempt to open it, but there you go. 10 centimeters blade length, so that's quite good for a folding knife. A lot of them are smaller than that, but personally, as I was saying, because I can't carry this around outside, if it's around the house, I'd like as big a blade as possible, just for utility use. Liner lock, you can see the liner lock there. Blade flipper, as I said, pocket clip. So there you go. That's all the features of it. It comes in this pretty bland box. Now, according to Blades and Bows website, Enlan actually makes knives for other companies, you know, and then just brands it under their names. So I assume they're Chinese, but, you know, this is very good quality. So they do some knives under their own name, which they don't charge all that much for. And then they do knives under other companies' names, where they, you know, make parts for them, or maybe make the entire thing, and then Gerber or somebody else sticks a name on it, and suddenly raises the price by 4 times, so, again, I'm doing a really bad job of flipping this, now it's on camera, there we go. As for flipping it, when I first got it, you couldn't really flip this at all, because it was quite a stiff, you know, blade in there, but over time, once you open it and close it, the blade actually gets easier to open and close, so now it does flip fairly easily. Of course, when I'm trying to demonstrate on camera, I always screw up flipping them, but yeah, you can flip it open. So the liner lock is good, I've had no slippage, there's like no blade wobble at all, an absolutely tiny bit if you put a lot of pressure on it, but you know, not enough to actually cause a problem when you're cutting. Now, I've been using this quite a lot, and I've had really good experiences with this. As I said, it's got a pocket clip. You won't be able to see my pocket from there, but obviously you can just very easily stick it in a pocket. It sits in there very nice and easily. Get it out when you need it. Of course, one-handed opening is knife with a flick knife when you're able to do it. This cuts open blister packets absolutely fine. I absolutely hate blister packets for trying to open with scissors or like Swiss Army knives. They can even be quite difficult with. When it came, it wasn't consistently sharp. It was very sharp in places and okay sharp in others. So I got a pocket knife sharpener, I just ran it through a couple of times. Now it's consistently sharp to a, you know, single sharpness, so that makes cutting it very easy. I've been cutting paracord fine with this, you know, doing any sort of utility jobs around the house where I need a knife for it. It's absolutely brilliant, you know, as I said, no problems with it whatsoever. I'm not going to bother keeping the box for it, so just to demonstrate the blade, I guess I'll cut a bit of the box open for you. Let's just get that open. So, I just was keeping the box until I did the video on it, so let's put that on there. There we go. As you can see, nice clean cut, no problem whatsoever. Just try gutting from the top. As you see, nice and clean. Little bits where I had to put a bit more pressure on it, but overall, good. You see there's a bit of the box now on the knife blade. Get that off. Cleaning it's very easy. I've just used a silicone embedded cloth, the same as I use on air rifles and stuff like that when I clean them. You get a bit of kind of fingerprinty stuff on it that's a bit hard to get off, but I'm sure if you went to loads of effort you could get that off. But, you know, just giving it a rub with a silicone cloth now and again keeps the material nice and clean. Obviously, as for a sort of folding pocket knife, I wanted a stainless-based steel, carbon steel, because the problem is with carbon steel, I'm sure you know as well, it's much better for keeping a sharp edge and being very, very sharp. It's a bit of a pain when it comes to remembering to always wipe it down so it doesn't get rust on it and stuff like that, because it's more prone to rusting, whereas, of course, I screw it up again. You know, one of these is very good for actual practical use, where if you're cutting something with it that's a bit damp, or you get the blade a bit damp, you don't need to immediately find something to dry it with, because although, yeah, you should keep it dry and, you know, as I said, and rub it down with a silicone cloth or whatever now and again, or, you know, oil it now and again, you don't really need to. As for the blade movement, it's got this sort of thing here that it folds on. I don't think that's a ball bearing type one. You can see what keeps the blade in there from coming out. But yeah, overall, as said, I very much like it. You know, for the price, this is about £15. This is absolutely brilliant. I cannot fault it for that price. This is better than a lot of expensive knives I've had. As I said, I'm just keeping it in my pocket all the time now when I'm at home, just because it's really practical to have a good sharp knife in your pocket all the time, so you don't have to worry about, you know, whenever you need to cut something, finding you've not got the right tool for the job. So, yeah. As I said, the Enlan EL-01, was it? Yeah, EL-01. Very, very good knife, very good pocket folder. Weapon Collector was saying to me he has a knife that's very similar to this, so maybe Enlan, you know, have copied the design from that, or it just happens to be very similar. I don't know, but very, very nice knife regardless.